54-52. They were lifted by a Hunter McCaffrey three-pointer with 10 seconds left to help them overcome a 10-point deficit in the final quarter to claim their third win in a row. McCaffrey scored 10 out of his team-high 20 points in the final 8 minutes for the Redskins, and that's not that uncommon for Hunter McCaffrey. When you look at their game against Warsaw, the second game of the season, they played a close one. Hunter McCaffrey had 21 points in that game, and 10 of them came in the fourth quarter. So when push comes to shove in that final frame, Hunter McCaffrey is going to give it his all. He did it in that Warsaw game, and he did it again in their last one in Addison. Cole Ferris had 14 points. Blake Updike, 7, 6 for Rocky Santiago. Nick Button had 5 also. And Mike Knight had 2 points for the Redskins. And that is a big league victory for them. Going into Addison, Addison's a tough team to beat, with players like John Steerley, the 6'7" big man who's a triple-double machine. You got scorers like Gage Ames. So that was a big one for them. And certainly after that victory, all the momentum is in CG's favor right now as we head toward the postseason.
As you mentioned, 3 in a row now, and without really having a big man to be able to handle Steerley and Addison is very impressive. Now, I did hear that Blake Updike did hurt his ankle in that game, so that will be a storyline to follow. We'll have to see if Blake is suited up here tonight and if he will go, but they do not have a lot of size down low, do the Redskins, and that would be a big loss because Hunter McCaffrey, who's one of their bigger players, he is also an outside player as well, so he does not play down low that much. For the Hammondsport Lakers, they're 6-6, 2-5 in league play, 4-1 in non-league. They're 4-2 at home, 2-4 on the road. They average 58 points overall, give up 52 points overall. They've won by an average of 28 points. They've lost by an average of 14. They are 0-5 against teams with winning records, 6-1 against sub-500 teams. Against teams with winning records, that 58 points per game drops to 46. And now when they play sub-500 teams, that goes up to 66 points. So that's a 20-point swing when they play teams with winning records and sub-500 records. Now defensively, when they play teams with winning records, they give up 62 points. When they play sub-500, they give up 43. So again, just about a 20-point swing when they play teams with winning records and sub-500 records. Now, the Hammondsport's combined opponents, 75-80 this year. They have played 6 games decided by 10 points or less. They're 3-3 in those games. Games decided by 2 points or less, they're 3-1. And Tanner, they just played another barn burner as well, coming out on top 51-49. So maybe in a close game scenario, and these two teams do statistically look like they're close, maybe a little advantage goes to the Lakers.
Absolutely. They've had, some success this season in close games. You look at their first game of the year, they got a go-ahead bucket with 2 seconds left in their season opener against the Dundee Scotsmen. They won that game 57-56. Their leading scorer in that one was Zach Davis. He had 23 points. And then you look on later in the season, they beat Campbell Savona 58-56, another last-second bucket to propel them to victory. And once again, they were led by Zach Davis, 18 points, and Chris Becker had 12 points. And then you look at another close game, JT, they played. JT led at halftime, and they were able to hold on 47-46, and they were led in that game by C.J. Hill with 9 points. So that was the one blemish for them on the season, really, in terms of close games. But other than that, they've had mostly success in these close games. So if you're CG, you want to get to a hot start and get off to a lead early and try and keep them out of it, because they've been in this situation many times this year, and certainly if it's in a close game in the fourth quarter, they will have that confidence knowing that they've pulled that scenario out many times prior this season.
And no doubt about it. So Redskins average 51 coming into this game, give up 55. Hammondsport averages 58, giving up 52. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do a shout-out to the seniors here for the Canisteo Greenwood Redskins as it's senior night. We'll tell you what their records are and their statistics are against common opponents, obviously being two Steuben County League teams. They've played a couple teams in common this year. We'll let you know what those scores are, and we'll get you set for the tip-off. You are listening to Steuben County League Boys Basketball on AM 1480 WLEA.
Simmons, Rockwell, Fornell. Those who listen to games on their are likely hearing it.
Hey, can we take a minute and a half here? 3 spots?
Name on the license plate over town, and you can see their huge line of new and pre-owned vehicles on the.
Greenwood and the countdown to tip-off pregame show. I am Joe Laurie. Along by my side is Tanner Saunders. Real quickly, let's go over the common opponents. Both teams have played Avoca, who is atop the Steuben County. Hammondsport lost to Avoca 67-42. Avoca beat CG 75-47. Both teams have played Prattsburg, probably the second best team in Steuben County. Prattsburg beat Hammondsport 82-51, and Prattsburg beat CG 75-51. Both teams played Bradford, maybe the third best team in Steuben County this year. Bradford beat Hammondsport 69-55. Bradford beat CG 52-46. Both teams have played Campbell Savona. Hammondsport beat Campbell Savona 58-56, and Campbell Savona beat Canisteo Greenwood 67-61. So in common opponents, CG is 0 for 4. Hammondsport is 1 for 3. In those 4 games, CG has averaged 51 points while giving up 67. Hammondsport has averaged 51 while giving up 68. You can't get much closer than that, Tanner, when you look at those stats. So very close. So if what the numbers say on the paper hold true and water finds its level, this could be a barn burner here tonight. It is senior night, as we talked about. So why don't we go ahead and mention some of the seniors here for this 2019-2020 Canisteo Greenwood Redskins team.
All right, looking at the seniors here, there is the 5'11" guard, number 3, Mike Knight. Certainly is a big part of their rotation. Even if he doesn't start, he still plays a lot, and he even single-handedly won them a game this year. They beat Jasper 36-34 on a game-winning bucket by Mike Knight at the horn, so certainly a big part of what they do. Number 11, Corey Barker, 5'10", guard, also a senior. We got number 13, Jose Alvarez, 5'9", guard. And last but most certainly not least, number 24, the 6'4" big, Blake Updike. And Joel, you mentioned he might be dealing with some ankle troubles. He is down there in uniform, putting up a jump shot right as we speak, so it looks like he's good to go.
And it's going to be hard to keep a senior, off of the court, especially this time of the year, as now